Look, man.
Where?
Oh, I see. My, oh my. Bowen, look over there.
Wow, is that
culture? Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah. Las Culturistas.
Ding dong, Las Culturistas calling. We not only did Bowen
Denim
and
on
I
denim on
get the
denim.
denim memo, but our guest like auspiciously showed up in denim. Let's just say we're all on the same page today. It's a hot
It's
one.
gonna be a good episode.
I'm radically optimistic about it. Eye contact.
Eye contact. Eye contact.
Then-
Down the barrel.
100%. We were sent the new album, and it is
It's
so
my
good.
favorite. It's my favorite one.
It is?
Why
Oh,
do you
wait,
sound
I'm
so shocked?
sorry.
What do you mean it is?
What do you mean
Wow.
Was I like surprised? Was there supposed to be an introduction?
I
or-
don't even think we need the intro.
I don't think we need to. Well,
Can we say? Well,
But wait,
yes.
I
Let's give
wasn't
the intro.
surprised, but I'm just so happy.
Oh,
No,
my
yeah, well,
God.
first of all, you should be very happy about what
so
you've
happy
done.
about what you've done to our lives.
Yeah.
Quickly, this
Quick
is
intro.
Grammy Brit Award-winning icon. She is. She had both of her prior albums are the two most streamed albums by a female artist ever. She's headlining Glastonbury this summer at the end of June
God.
at
Wait,
the Pyramid Stage.
That makes me so happy. And also, I was at Coachella last weekend, and if you don't think I'm bullying you to do Coachella next year as a headliner, don't worry, everyone. I've got your back out there.
This is a bully episode.
This is an episode where
We're-
we bully
we're
Dua
gonna
Lipa
bully-
into doing what we want. Us gay men. She hasn't given us enough. Like, I was getting, in the words of Adele, a bit emotional on the way
emotional,
here.
yeah.
Because I thought about Club Future Nostalgia.
The first time I met our guest was when she was at SNL, and we were like talking over the sketch. I was like, "You're gonna be grinding on me as like a wartime nurse."
SNL conversation.
By the way, Club Future Nostalgia, that entire special, kind of the first like concert adjacent experience I had in the pandemic, right?
I mean, yeah.
And I looked her in her eyes and I was like, "Thank you so much for that." By the way, that was the highlight of that like November. I was like, it made me feel like I was at the club for the first time in months.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, this is.
Remember that New Year's?
Yes.
That was like pandemic New Year's. We were like, it was us, like 6 of our friends, and Dua.
And Dua.
Yeah,
And Palm
you were
Springs.
there.
Dua and Kylie.
But I mean, you know her best from her performance as Marjorie on SNL.
You know her best from that.
That is her for top credit.
By the time this comes out, she will be hosting this week
Yes.
on May 4th. We're so excited to have her there and here. Everyone, welcome
Dua
Lipa!
Come
you're,
on now.
You're shocked that it's my favorite?
Well, I just love that it's your favorite.
It's my favorite.
I'm just getting these are early reviews for me. It's not out yet. So
Oh my God, are
not
we
so
still
many,
embargoed?
Not so many people have heard it, so it makes me really happy that you love it.
It's such a party the whole time. Like, we love it. I mean, also, like, I'm a these words, like, fanatic. These walls, rather. Sorry, these words. I like your Natasha Bedingfield. These walls, like, that song, I feel like Dolly Parton would be proud of that
It's a
melody.
country song.
It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
you think?
It has like the structure and the storytelling of a country song in a way.
Yeah, well, my gosh, it was such a. Now, when I listen to that song, I look at it really fondly, but it was like a hard song to write in
Uh-huh.
the moment.
I bet.
It's really that kind of personifying the walls and understanding how much more they know about you than almost you do yourself.
Mhm.
It's like they see everything
Yeah.
in a way, and they know the breakup, and they know when something's bad for you before you know something's bad for you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Um,
That it's imbued with all this like
So-
knowledge or
Mm.
something or like
I
experience.
mean, imagine what these walls have had.
I know. What we've edited.
What you've edited.
I know,
Exactly.
100%. So wait, when you're writing a song like These Walls, though, are you? It has to be hard to write because, like, are you experiencing that emotion as you're writing it, or or are you someone that like writes down what they're feeling and then later you'll return to it to like musicalize it, or are you putting your emotions into the work as you're feeling them?
I guess for this album, it was very much like a Dear Diary, but These Walls was a feeling that I'd previously experienced, and then I was reliving it and writing it down.
You have, I think, my favorite. I'm not just being superlative because you're in front of us, but the Song Exploder episode of Love Again
So good.
is incredible because I'm just like this feels like such an intimate look into like the way you were writing for Future Nostalgia, but I feel like I can like extrapolate it to this where I'm like, oh, you're basically working with just 3 people. Mostly, you really pared back the team on this for Radical Optimism in a way that I was like, this must be so intentional. This is such a nice, focused way of like writing an album like this, especially in like a follow-up to like this amazing moment in your career with Future Nostalgia. Like, what was it like zeroing in on like Danny and Kevin and like and Caroline too, like who's like the through line?
Yeah. Well, it was definitely intentional because I was so almost jealous of hearing stories about bands going into the studio and honing in on certain songs. And it would be like they would start a song and then the next day they would work on something else and then go back to it. And I always felt like I pressured myself or never gave myself that luxury of going back to a song. It was like a song a day. I had to just keep writing and just see what happens. And this time around, I kind of never let a good idea die in a way. Like I would start something and I'd be like, okay, we have something good here. And then if we wanted to move on to something just to keep the flow going, we would change onto another song and then go back to it. And we did so many rewrites and we just built the songs in that way. And we just, as Kevin likes to call it, we were just more of like a spiritual band. Like we just kind of would come in together and we would all just bring in our ideas and just flow. And there was no formula for the songs. It was very much like a free-flowing writing session. And I think that just kind of came with a bit of confidence. Like before, with all my other songs, it was like whatever I wrote that day, with maybe some minor tweaks. Like the demo was pretty much like what ended up being what everyone heard. I would just go in and re-record the vocal with some minor lyrical changes. Whereas this time around, I felt confident enough that I was like, oh, I'm a good enough songwriter that I can go in and make this better or change this up or add to the story. I guess in a way that I didn't think I could before. So.
Yeah. In terms of like genre, I feel like in listening to this, like we listened to it together the other night and like in like the highest compliment I can muster, it's kind of giving like Ray of Light era. Like it's like pure pop, elevated pop. Like I think that everyone's going to be like really excited, but I wonder like, as someone who has truly earned, like, this could have been an album, like, that really could have sounded like anything. And I wonder, like, in terms of how you were creating, if you were surprised at, like, the genres that were popping out. Because, like we were saying, like, there is like almost a little bit of country on it, like, stuff that's really different for you. And I wonder, like, was there, out of everything you wrote, like, how did we pare down to this?
I think touring for a whole year had a big thing to do with it. Like, I think I fell in love so much with the live instrumentation of the record of Future Nostalgia while I was performing it live, more so than when I listened to the album version. And then I was like, okay, how do I bring more of that sonically into Radical Optimism? And so that's kind of where it began. It also was like, I was diving into influences of Primal Scream and the album Screamadelica and Andy Weatherall mix. And there's just moments in there that just feel like there's just such a freedom to the music, and Massive Attack and Portishead. And it was more of an energy of this kind of free-flowing melody and just letting the song kind of take me wherever. But I started writing for Radical Optimism in 2021, and I didn't get anything that I wanted to put on the album until June 2022.
Wow.
Really?
So I was writing for a really long time, and I just felt like I had to write myself into a good idea and like sonically. But I guess June was my first session that I did with Kevin, Danny, Tobias, and Caroline.
Oh, Tobias. I left out Tobias. Oh my God.
Yeah, and it was Illusion was the first song we wrote. Basically, Kevin came down to London just to do 1 week with us. So Illusion was the first song we did. The next day we wrote Happy For You. And the next day we wrote What You're Doing. And we were like, oh, we kind of have a good thing going on here. Let's keep writing together. Let's put in some more days. Let's do some more stuff. And then we wrote Training Season and Houdini and then French Exit. And we just kept writing we just kept flowing. And so we just ended up having so much of the album together. It was just such great creative chemistry.
Yeah. I feel like not surprised that Illusion was first.
No, me neither. But I am surprised that Houdini came later down the pike, because it seems like such a Kevin song, such a you song, of course. But I feel like that is such a good lead single, because it kind of is the like top stone of the pyramid for the rest of the album in a way.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I think it's definitely got that darker psychedelic, like whether it's like the synths or the ambient sounds throughout that just kind of take you into a different world that separates it from Future Nostalgia in a way. I think that was also the reason why I wanted that song to come first, because it takes you
Yeah.
somewhere a little bit different.
I was like shopping for magazines a few years ago, and
Go off.
and I just like looked at a stand.
Hell yeah. Personal chic.
Well, I was just like looking at a stand of magazines. It's like that place in Larchmont that like.
Oh yeah,
has,
I
like-
know the place.
You know
yes,
that-
there's like
the one with all the
with all the
with all the
magazines.
magazines.
you know the
you know
one.
too.
I know the one.
Larchmont girlies here.
And this cover stuck out to me because of these words. Okay, and I brought it. So I looked. It's Pin Up. It's an architecture magazine, but this was like years ago. Radical Optimism.
Whoa.
Oh my
Can I give
God.
this to you? It's
Yes.
okay. There's something very
That
Dua,
is very
There's something
cool.
very Dua Lipa about this magazine. It's like architecture.
It is.
It's like look at the typeface.
Okay.
Like
is amazing.
this is so the album.
This is the album.
Look at that. Whatever that is.
Whoa.
Naughty. I
No,
don't.
that's
I don't-
naughty.
we're not
Was there a naughty
It was-
picture in there?
It was like
You're scandalizing Dua.
it's kind of scandalous.
Delete that.
Delete that. But like, right?
Oh,
like
that's
something
so cool.
seems
That's
like
something really cool
very
about that.
aligned with the album, and like, I feel like there
I
is
love it.
something
It's synergetic.
we were doing a Cowboy Carter episode.
That's
Look at that.
funny.
That's
and
crazy.
this is even good.
This is even
This
good.
is the album cover.
This
That's
is
great
one-
that
this
we
is
got
one
it
promo
here.
shot.
That's
That's amazing.
Anyway,
2021,
2021, 2022. This was like a couple years ago, and
Whoa.
I feel like we were talking about Cowboy Carter, and we were talking about how like Beyonce is this like utopian artist. But I was like, when we were listening to the album the other night, I thought to myself, I was like, oh, there's something about Dua that is also like completely hopeful,
Yeah,
completely.
you're a lifter.
Even with future nostalgia,
An upper.
You're an upper.
You're an upper.
Dua's an upper. It's actually Real Culture number 94. Dua's an upper.
Crush her up.
Yeah, crush her up. Anyway, no, cut that out.
Cut that out.
I'm telling you about these walls.
These walls.
like there's like even in future nostalgia in that title, it's like, oh, this is implying that there will be a future
Yes.
in which we can celebrate this work and look back on it and be like, oh my God, remember when this came out? Immediately that album has the sentimental value, right? Like
Yeah.
we all will forever associate that album with, oh my God, what's happening in the world? At least we have this. At
Mhm.
least like I remember like our friends like on Instagram, like that week of lockdown in New York being like, guys, at least we have Dua Lipa
I
releasing
know.
the album a week early because she loves her fans so much and she knows what the world is.
Yeah, you
going
know what the world
through.
needed. Dr. Dua.
Dr. Dua. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you must identify with this drive of like, can I make the world slightly better? Can the point of view be like things are gonna be okay?
I definitely love like that as a point of view for sure is something that I always aim for because I see music and words that I sing as like a mantra, and if I'm going to get up on stage and sing it every night, I might as well be saying something nice
Yeah.
or something good or something that's going to make me feel better because
Mm.
if I'm going to be singing this for a really long time, I'm not trying to, drag me back to a bad experience or something, or even if I'm singing about something that's, dance crying in a way, there's always an optimistic
Yeah.
flair
Mhm.
to it in some way. Like
Yeah.
that's always really important. But this is insane because I was thinking like radical optimism was introduced to me through like the term radical optimism through a friend of mine while I was doing a talk with him on his podcast. And he was like, what the world needs is radical optimism. And I just lived with it for so long. And I'm like, I got to show him this.
Yeah, the
You
fact
have
that
to
that's
show 'em.
physicalized in the world,
It's
that's
unbelievable.
That's really
it really,
cool.
It just,
But like
Amazing.
I had it landed on me the same way where like those words showed up and I was like, oh my God. Like that's like why hadn't I considered that as
and
like,
that you were walking Larchmont at that
At that
moment,
moment,
you know,
and
and
you
that
saw
you
it.
found this.
I was gonna go get him Tiger, but then the magazine stand stopped.
But you
me.
went to Sam's Bagels because they are better. No, but
Wait a minute,
no,
cut
wait,
that out.
sorry.
Go get him
No,
Tiger. It's gonna
don't.
have
That's
your
my messy
head.
moment. Warring bagel stores on Larchmont.
Oh,
I can get involved
no.
in that. Wait, I just want to know, in terms of because we're talking about how important feels like a crazy word, but it really was to have future nostalgia during the time it came out. I wonder if you at the time were it's the pandemic, I don't want to do this, but I feel like a calling to do it, because now looking back, thank God you did that. And I genuinely think it will bind you to people forever because they will have that
that
association.
connection to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the amount of people that actually, it is that's how they connect. The album is to that time period
Yeah.
for sure. But I guess like anyone else, like I thought, you know, we'd be in it for 2 weeks or it'd be like a month or,
yeah.
and then my tour just kept getting pushed and pushed and pushed. And it was like 2 years later and I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to go on tour.
Yeah.
That's when I started writing Radical Optimism, but nothing was coming. And that was probably because I had to go on the Future Nostalgia Tour and do that. And before I was ready to start writing for anything new. But
was it because it was so freewheeling in the process of songwriting, like maybe with Kevin and Danny and Tobias and Caroline, like I'm like naming all these names, but like first of all, Tobias Jesso Jr. Have you listened to his actual album? Because he kind of got like swept up in the songwriting milieu, like with Adele, with like When We Were Young. But he has a great solo album that I think you would love. I'm sure you've heard it.
Yeah, he's amazing.
so
Yeah,
good.
I know. I mean,
yeah, you got to check him out.
in this time of it feels like there is so much new music. Like it feels like every couple weeks, like there's this incredible banger and album coming out. I like in terms of that, like the amount of like volume. What do you attribute that to? Like the fact that like everyone feels like very creatively juiced right now. Like that feels like that way to me. Anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you don't feel like it's been like that.
I
don't
guess
know.
so.
To me, like I feel like there's such a heavy influx of music and artists, and I think like streaming has made it possible to just constantly discover so many people from all around the world. I don't know. I've never seen it more than
Yeah.
now.
In the past few years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a
Unbelievable.
change. I mean, I was at Coachella, like I said, about a week and a half ago, and I remember leaving and being like, music is in such a good, fun place. Because everywhere you looked, there was something cool happening or like someone interesting. Like I found this artist, Olivia Dean.
Oh,
I think she's incredible.
she's amazing.
Yeah, and I didn't know of her. And meanwhile, she's so the vibe.
Did she
of-
perform at Coachella?
She did.
Was she good?
Yeah, she was great. She was in the Gobi tent, which
Amazing.
is like a more intimate. You've been to Coachella.
Amazing. I went for a day.
You went
one
for a
time.
day.
Yeah, I went.
You should go
'cause-
for 2 weeks.
I should go for a little longer. I went one time because I went to go sing a song I did with Martin Garrix years ago. And so I went for the day and I explored it, and I haven't been.
Yeah.
And I've never performed other than that.
You must.
You might.
Yeah.
Duochella
I
has to
could see
happen.
that that's on your agenda for today.
It's on my agenda. I have an agenda here. With
There's
you.
an agenda. Matt yeah.
I mean, like it's like that silly thing of like when you leave Coachella and have a good time, it becomes your personality for like a week and a half afterwards. Like I was just like, that was so good, and everyone was talking about the potential of Duochella.
I mean, nothing.
It's not going to be confirmed here on Las Culturistas today. I can tell you that right now. But unless
Look, it's not no. There's just no plan for it right now.
Right.
But maybe.
I'm starting.
Okay. Wait, Glastonbury.
But Glastonbury.
But
Yeah.
Glastonbury first.
But Glastonbury first. Like Glastonbury's my biggest
That was
dream
always
the
of
biggest
my
dream.
life.
God.
Yeah.
That's like the pinnacle for me. That's
Yeah.
something that I've dreamt about since forever.
yeah.
Mm.
And yeah, the more I think about it, the more scared and nervous I get. But I just can't believe that I get to do it. And I'm so excited. It's the Friday night.
Yeah.
Because that means I can like party on
Yes,
the
afterwards.
afterwards.
away.
And
I
the
know.
Saturday and the Sunday and just
Exactly.
let the days roll.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Have you been to Glastonbury?
Oh no, we've never.
I'm dying to go.
Dying to
Oh.
go.
Maybe this is the year.
Maybe this is the year. No, honestly, that would be. You know what's funny? We talked about going.
We talked about going. I know I can't this year.
I know.
What?
Bowen's booked
I
and busy. He's
know.
always
No.
shooting a film.
Hey,
but I
stop.
can go. I'm Tech Avail. No, but do you have like a iconic Glastonbury set that's in your mind of like the top, or like any festival set that you like really put in high regard?
Oh God. I mean,
I feel like I can put you and Kylie's Glastonbury set like on the same
Kylie's
sort of.
Glastonbury set. I went to go see that.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. She's unbelievable. I absolutely love her. But even like Adele's Glastonbury set,
Mm.
like I normally go to Glastonbury with my parents
Yeah.
and like with my friends, and it's just like we all roll deep, and I turn around and my mum's just bawling her eyes out to Adele.
Oh my God. It's hard
And
not
it's
to.
So like everyone's just so emotional and holding each other, and it's just beautiful. Like the best
Ugh.
time
Yeah.
ever.
Oh my God.
But I feel like
There's so
the reason I
many-
bring up Kylie is because I think she's also talked about Glastonbury in the same sort of emotional way, where it's like, oh my God, like
It's a spiritual experience.
spiritual.
Glasto,
Yeah.
Totally.
for sure.
And for her, she was like,
Oh, now I have to go.
You have to.
You
I
have
want
to.
that.
There's nothing like it. It's its
Yeah.
own world
Mm.
that you go into, and there's so many different stages and so many different artists and so many different worlds you can get lost in. It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. You have to go. Like, even
You're so
after,
excited.
I'm
I love
so
this.
excited because I'm such a fan of
Yeah.
the festival.
Are you rehearsing already? Like I would
Oh,
imagine,
yeah,
like
yeah.
for all that.
No, I've already like set list, musical direction, what we're doing, what it's gonna look like.
Oh
what's
my God,
gonna
I love how
happen.
excited you are.
I'm
It's
really
so
excited.
fun.
And the thing about Glasgow and the way that you, I guess, kind of make it special, it's just like it's a one-off show. You do it once,
Yep.
never to be repeated again.
Yeah.
That's it. That happens that one night. So just don't fuck it up.
It's so
The
exciting.
pyramid, like that fucking, just that stage picture alone,
Mm-mm.
incredible. What do you mean? Oh, you're just like,
I'm like,
incredulous.
I
She's
just
gagged.
can't think it.
What are you most nervous about? I don't want to dwell on it.
I think just like holding my shit together.
Yeah.
You're the best in the biz.
So
You're
I
gonna be
just
great.
have to just be like,
Yeah. You're gonna be great.
I'm strong. I can
Yeah.
do this.
Radical
I'm
optimism.
not gonna bawl my eyes out up here on stage.
Yeah, but if you do,
But if I
that'll
do,
be
it's
part of
fine,
it, and
yeah.
Part of
you'll
it.
funnel it in, and it'll be incredible.
it's fine. But yeah, it'll be fun.
What's like
It's
the
just
most
that it's a lot
emotional
of people.
moment in
Yeah.
a DUA set for a DUA? Like is there a song that you're like, that's like especially like your song?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it in that way. I
Like if you do,
think like from the new record,
yeah.
like maybe These Walls.
It's so good.
If I perform it.
If you perform it, I just think about like it's like Glastonbury. It's this like moment that you've waited for all
But
your life, and it's gonna happen.
Every song that I write in the studio, my barometer is how is this going to sound at
Oh
Glastonbury?
my
100%. And the
That's
live
all I think
instrumentation on
about.
this album,
That's all I think about.
yes, you're gonna have so much fun doing it.
So let's
Yeah.
see.
Happy for You is gonna
Happy for
fucking
You.
tear. in
I
that.
love it.
Happy for You is a very special.
It's so good. And also that feeling, the way that song, Happy For You, ends the album, and especially it being titled Radical Optimism, I think that something that's the hardest thing to achieve is genuine, what the hell is that? Genuine happiness for the
Pony,
person.
Genuine.
Yeah, it is. That's really the top achievement is Genuine by Pony. No, just like that feeling of, wow, I saw a picture of my ex and his new girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, and I didn't feel like I wanted to throw myself off a building.
yeah.
In fact, it was actually the opposite.
It was nice.
I felt good
I'm like,
about
Thank
it.
God.
Like this idea of like you guys look hot together.
Yeah.
If my ex and someone else ever looked hot together, it would be tough. But to get there,
Yeah, to
is
get
like,
to that place, it's like, I think even being able to write that for me, I was like, oh, I'm reaching new levels of maturity here.
yeah, who
Yeah.
knew?
This is great.
Yeah.
You know?
Both of you
So-
are more evolved human beings than I am.
Yeah. How's,
'Cause
how's
I've
it
never
going?
had that. Never had that.
It's scorched
experience.
earth every time.
It's scorched earth every time. How can you guys get over yourselves like that? You know what I mean? I'm like, it's the ego. I know it's the ego, like superseding all, but I'm like, no, like this is a huge mistake.
This is a massive
terrible.
error in judgment for you. It will never be right for me. So you're just not going to release Radical Optimism, the
That's right.
album. Yours is not going to be that.
Well, I think the album doesn't really have like any bitterness to it. I don't think.
No, even French Exit is kind of like, I hope you understand.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
yeah.
chic detachment.
You're hoping for someone else to have radical optimism
Yeah.
while you're slowly
Yeah.
leaving.
Drifting out of the room,
Drifting.
floating away from a situation.
I
Yeah.
think okay. Can I say something about Dua? I think
Please.
I feel like you are what you embody beyond like the music, the work, the writing, the talent, the effortlessness is also taste. Because I feel like
Say it.
with Service 95, which is your editorial platform, which I
Thank you.
literally I wait for the newsletter.
You do?
I read it and I'm like, oh my God, she's writing about like drag kings
Yeah.
this week. She's writing about like lesbian bars this week or whatever. I'm like, there is like and like you don't have to be honest about this, but like how much of that is you like looking at, like I'm sure you have a team of people,
Yeah,
obviously.
I have a team for sure.
but there is your
Yeah, well, I sit in the the right. It's not really a writer's
Yeah,
room
yeah,
like SNL, but it's like it's a team meeting that we would
Uh-huh.
do on a Tuesday, and we would sit and everybody just kind of brainstorms different ideas, and it's like, oh, this is interesting. Let's dive more into this, or we've done so many different things on drag, and it's like, why don't we make a whole issue on that and dive in deeper into that, and going in and talking to different chefs from around the world and getting them to make recipes, and all those things are things that I love and I just want to know more about. So this is stuff that keeps me curious and excited and learning. And so it's like, okay, let's commission interesting stories from all around the world and learn more. So it's fun, but it's a team effort.
Okay,
it's
great.
a team effort.
Of course. But there's like undeniably like your sort of like layer on it. Like as I read
That's
on
the
it, it's
things that
like,
I love.
Yeah.
The things that I just I'm constantly wanting to know and learn more of. Like I turn to Service 95 when I'm like looking for restaurants.
There you go.
This-
to take your own recommendations.
No,
that's how you know.
some are mine, and then some are like from other people.
Yes.
No,
that
absolutely.
we go in. We had like a whole piece on Cairo, and it's like I haven't been to Egypt yet, but I know that when I go, I'm going to go and look
Look
at
up the
that
Service
and look at
95.
those
Yep.
recommendations. So it's really exciting to have those bookmark and have something to look forward to and something to learn from as well.
Because I was lucky enough to do At Your Service, which is the podcast,
Yes.
piece of it. And you were like, oh, like give me like 7 things. Like we do this thing where everyone does a list. I do lists. And I was like, oh, Dua puts together lists. I always remember this. I always remember that like, well, Dua Lipa keeps a list of restaurants in every city. I should do this. And I like maintain these lists. And part of Service 95 is like the travel piece, right? It's like that is like a huge focus of it. So when I see these people say, she's in every city, she's traveling so much, I go, this is who she is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Literally. It's such a big part of me. Like I love and when I was touring, so much of it was like I'm trying to have fun.
Yeah.
Like I want to make sure that I can dive into the culture, try the different restaurants, see the art that's around, go to the different bars, feel the city in a different way. Like I don't want to travel the world and then later down the line be like, yeah, I've been there, but I haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
Right.
I haven't experienced anything. This way I can like go do all the things, have a lot of fun, and then share it with everyone.
Yeah. Do you
But I love it.
I wonder, like, someone that like appears as busy as you, do you feel rested when you need to feel rested? Like, do you feel like you prioritize that? Because when you're on an album cycle, I can imagine it's crazy. I mean, you're doing a lot for this, like, and it feels, obviously the Future Nostalgia rollout was different because of the pandemic, but I wonder, like, do you consciously say to yourself, like, I'm going to chill for this period of time? Or are you like someone that's like energized by moving all the time? Like I wonder about the balance.
A bit of both. Like for me, this past like I don't know, few months, like I had a couple weekends off and I was like, I'm gonna go to Madrid.
Oh
and
yeah,
just
okay, yeah.
have fun.
You're like him.
And do that, you know? I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm in London. It's so easy when you're in Europe because you can just like
Hop
bounce around.
around.
I'm gonna go to Paris for a weekend. I'm gonna,
Yeah.
you know, go to different restaurants, drink good wine, have
Yeah.
fun. Like I'm trying to just have fun in
Yeah,
the midst
good.
of it. Like I'm working nonstop, so why can't I just do whatever the fuck I want to do
100%. Yeah.
on the weekend? And so I take the opportunity whenever I can to do that. But then sometimes when everything's like really intense, then I'm like, all right, I'll go into the countryside and do that for 2 days. That's still like a getaway and like doing something and going on walks and hikes and stuff. But it's more chilled. But
Yeah.
I'm an
Yeah.
activity.
I bet
Gal.
your Google Calendar is crazy.
Oh, it's my favorite thing, and it's popping
Like,
off. It's
it's
full to
popping
the
off.
brim.
It is blue.
It's completely. There's
It
a
is
dot
blue,
under
babe.
every day. I'm busy every day.
And you love
I have
that.
plans.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going for dinner in 2 weeks' time.
Yes.
That's
There's
me.
not going to be anytime I'm the same way. Like when I look at my Google Calendar and there's like a whole white day, like it has nothing on it. I'm like,
What can we do?
am I
here?
going to be crazy that day?
No, you
myself
guys.
to
All I
Exactly.
want is a day that's
I know,
that's
but
blank.
he's so bad at that because honestly, I'm in all the group chats with him. I know what he's planning. It's like he'll have a few days off and he's like, should we do this? Should we do that? Should we
Yeah.
go here? And I'm like, don't you need to sit
I
down?
know. I don't have the self-governing piece in my head that like.
But
does
do you
that.
get energized from that? Or are you then, why did I do this? I'm exhausted.
You're gonna see.
The eye rolls. in the
You're
back.
I know,
see.
because I'm telling the truth with my eyes. If these walls could talk.
Let's check back in after you host. Because I mean, it's a different thing entirely for you, obviously.
And
but
like,
like,
Bowen
does
said,
this
you
mean?
thought you were busy? Wait till the
wait
SNL
till
schedule.
Yeah, I
It
know
just-
that week's gonna be mad.
it's gonna be so
So
fun.
good.
It's gonna be
No,
so
I know.
fun.
I'm so excited.
Oh, yeah.
I've never been more excited.
Have you
I'm
always
just-
wanted to do it, or
I've
was like an
always wanted to-
opportunity?
No, this is my dream.
Oh,
I've
hell
been
yeah.
like working towards this, hoping that, I'd get asked to do double duty.
I mean,
It's your American Glasto.
Exactly.
It's American Glasto title event.
Exactly.
American Glass, though. Wow, for you to say that about SNL. Such a company man. You're such a great NBC employee, Bo.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
really are an icon.
You know.
Speaking of icons, we turn to you now to ask the central question of our podcast, which is, Dua Lipa, what was the culture that made you say culture is for you? This formative pop culture moment that you can look back and be like, oh yeah, Dua Lipa definitely became Dua Lipa because of that.
Oh God. When I was 15,
Uh-huh.
I went to a Katy Perry concert.
Well done. Good job.
Ahem.
Already.
Thank you
We're happy.
so much.
We're
Do
really
you know
happy.
about this?
No,
No.
wait. Oh, there's a story.
There's a story.
Okay, tell the story.
So I went to a Katy Perry concert when I was 15. It was at the HMV Apollo in Hammersmith in London. And I was so excited. Went early to get to the front of the queue, to be in the front row. And there was a moment where Katy was bringing people up on stage to dance with her.
I don't know about this.
And I,
Oh my God.
was climbing over people to be picked.
You were being
It's
that
like-
girl.
It's like, it's me. And then one of the dancers pulled me up. And I get up and I'm dancing. It's to Whitney Houston. It's like, oh, I want to dance with somebody.
Yeah.
And we're all dancing. It's like the best of my life. My friends are in the front. I'm like, I did it. I'm up here. And every time now when I get off stage, when I finish my show, that's a song that I play to keep people dancing
There you go.
at the end. So I just wanted to keep that going. And it's so great because when I get off stage, I get videos from my whole team of seeing people in the crowd carrying on the party and carrying on
that's so
dancing.
great.
And that was something that Katy Perry brought
Wow.
into my life. And I loved being on that stage. I loved being there with her, and she was wearing the most amazing
What tour was
it was
that?
California Girls.
Oh, cool.
Uh-huh.
So she was wearing this sparkly bodysuit with the
Yeah.
swirly boobs
Totally,
on it and the
yeah.
whole thing. It was
The
It
whole
was just
Katy Perry bit
the
at
whole
the time.
Katy Perry. It was
Yeah.
just amazing with the blue wig.
Oh yeah.
Ah.
That is such a good fusion
So
of
that was
culture moments too, because it's like Katy Perry's concert, giving the ground for I want to dance with somebody, and that moment all together, that you can see that even in your work
Yes.
and in your energy and what you do, that it is about keeping on dancing, keeping the party going quite
Yeah.
literally. So to look back and be able to connect that has to be pretty
yeah,
cool.
yeah. It's really fun, and I think about it every time.
Every time.
Every time when that song plays, I think about that moment when I was 15 and on stage, and that happened.
Does
Bless
Katy know
you.
about this?
Yeah, she does.
She does?
She does this
Oh.
photographic evidence of this.
Oh,
on
there's
the-
of Dua slaying.
of me on stage.
Of Dua's leg.
So
Honestly, Future Nostalgia was giving me Teenage Dream vibes at the time, because I remember it was you had your incredible first album, as did she, but then there was that moment.
Mm.
I wonder, could you feel that moment, and was it something you expected? You were super proud of Future Nostalgia and kind of knew it would do that, or?
I didn't know it would do that. It was definitely something, because I was at home while
Yeah.
people were listening to the album. I didn't feel the intensity of, I guess, the success of it and how
Yeah.
much people
Mhm.
listened to it. And it was only when I went on tour, and basically the Future Nostalgia tour was all the songs from the album, and people were singing deep cuts that I
Yeah.
probably would have never performed in a different scenario had it not been that people lived with the album for 2 years.
Yeah.
That I was like, oh, like people love this album.
Uh-huh.
If it ain't me, that's my song.
If it ain't
Oh, you
me,
love that
I
one.
love If
love
It Ain't Me. I want to see If
Yes
It Ain't
to the
Me at
deluxe.
Glastonbury.
Ah.
Yes to the deluxe.
Yes
I
to
always
the
say yes to
deluxe.
deluxe. I feel like oftentimes the deluxe
You have to
gives
listen
you
to
It
everything.
has some secret bangers. in
Yes.
It is no. If it ain't me, I mean that is. If it ain't me. No, is that a rule of culture? Oftentimes the deluxe album will
Wow.
give you what you want. Wow.
Sorry, I'm still in the song in my head. I'm like in a fugue state now.
Okay, so this is the story. Can I just quickly walk through the story of the sketch that we did together?
Yes.
Okay. We write it.
Marjorie.
Marjorie became a legend
I've been
in a
looking
second.
for those.
Yeah. Marjorie must return.
Oh my God, Marjorie must return. She must.
Yeah, we should bring her back.
We should bring her
She's
back.
a saucy minx.
She
Marjorie.
really is.
Yeah.
She was everything and more.
I mean, that cut to you, and it's just
It's like-
you holding the frame. Like, I've been looking for those. So fucking fun. I mean, we like walk down to your dressing room. We like tell you the sketch. You're like, yeah, I'll do it. We were like, oh my God, okay, great. And then you stayed, and you were wearing this like gorgeous like camel colored coat on the floor, and you were just like just standing there with our stage manager Chris. And I was looking over. I was like, oh my God, Dua's being so patient and so sweet, and I can't believe she's like sticking around for this. And then we did the sketch. It was great. I don't know if you remember this. At dress rehearsal, it was dead last.
Yeah.
And that usually means it's like buried. It's like, okay, like well, this could go either way. It could either be great, or if it'll close the show on a high note, but maybe it's not like top of show, like doesn't give it the burst of energy up top that the show needs. And I was like, okay, this might get cut. I really hope it doesn't. It's so stupid. It's so silly. Like Dua's in it, and like I really hope she has fun this show. And then it did well at dress rehearsal.
Yeah.
And then between dress and air, they moved it all the way to the top.
There you
Yeah.
go.
And I was like, wow. It was like one of the best nights of my life because we did the sketch. It went great. And then for the rest of the show, I was like chilling. I was like, I'm done. And then there's footage of this. Mary Ellen Matthews, the photographer at SNL, has video of me dancing to you doing levitating in like the jellyfish Valentino thing.
Valentino.
That
hat.
was
Yeah,
so
yeah.
good. That was such a moment.
And that exact moment was me thinking to myself, wow, we just did like, because that was the Christmas show. I was like, we just did like 10 shows that were so hard to do in like lockdown. We're all so tired. And then I went, I can't believe I'm one of the lucky few people in the world right now who gets to see like
A
live music,
performance.
a live
Yeah.
performance. Because it was just like, there was
Yeah,
just no
yeah.
live music. It was like literally December 2020. And I was
Yeah.
just like, I can't believe I get to see this. And it was just
Oh.
like looking at you like, wow, wow. I was just like,
Oh my God.
That's what was
Dua
going
was
up through my
amazing.
mind as well. The
wow. I was like, this is so cool. And like I feel like you've given me so many like hits of euphoria, like at every stage with every album. I remember where I was when I saw New Rules for the first time. I like remember where I was when
Iconic.
like
Makes me
Physical
so
came out. Like
happy.
every rollout, I'm like, there's a time and a place for it. And that's like that is like the emotional connection that I think you make in people's minds.
Oh, thank you.
You know?
Thank you so much. I mean, when I think back to that SNL, I was so nervous. It was my second time performing at SNL, and I remember doing like the sound check, and my knees were shaking.
Yeah.
I think it's just like that pressure of it. Just you're there. They just go, all right, 3, 2, 1, and it's time. You just go for it.
Uh-huh.
And I was so nervous. And then we did the dress rehearsal skit. And then afterwards, when we all come into the room and Lorne comes and gives everyone notes, something shifted in my brain where I was like, okay, I'm part of a team.
Oh,
That's fun.
That's how I felt. I was like, oh, I'm part of a team, and we're all here to support each other. We all want this to be the best show it can be. And when I got up on stage to perform again, it was almost like I had this separation of just going and performing.
Got
Like I just felt like I was more embedded in the
Uh-huh.
in the team. I was like, this is a production, and we're just putting this all together, and this is just another part of a bigger thing.
Less individual
Yeah.
pressure and more
Less
like
individual pressure,
achievement
yeah.
based on everyone.
That's
like,
how it
doing
felt.
well.
And I felt like now when I look at those videos, I look at them so fondly because I see a different kind of confidence of
Totally.
being part of a unit.
Yeah.
Right.
So I just I love those performances.
Yeah.
And that's kind of also where I was like, I think I'd really like to host
yeah.
sometime.
And now it's probably going to be
so-
even more fun because it's going to be another level
Level
of that
of-
feeling, which is like you'll be in every sketch
Yeah.
and performing twice. So it's like you're going to be like, it's almost like the word is like executing.
Oh
and
my
instead of
God.
like, no, you're going to be so good.
No, because
No.
it's the same. It's the exact same like epiphany that you had. It's the same thing where it's like, yes, you're hosting, like it's like you being and everything, but
But it's a team thing.
It's a team thing.
That's what I
Yeah.
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 I love
everyone
that.
at every level is there to make sure that like you have a great time, that you come off well, that you score, that it's a funny show, and also that like so much of each show and episode is dictated by the host's vibe, for lack of a better term. And like I say, it's like everything you do brings this sort of radical optimism, brings this sort of like very cool kind of joy, this like bridled, but not bridled is wrong, but bridled is just, I just mean to say like, it's like deeply comfortable. It's a comfortable, confident kind of joy. And I feel like
Thank
you've
you.
always brought that. I'm just like hurtling compliments.
Thank you. I love it. I'll take it. I will take it. I appreciate it.
But
Thank
like,
you.
but the taste thing, I'm just like I think we
Everyone,
talked about this.
every gay man at a party is some like anywhere in the world right now. There's someone holding a cocktail, being like, "Dua Lipa has the best taste." That's literally happening right now somewhere.
Right now somewhere.
Like, I don't know where it's
Brazil.
like 10:30 p.m. right now in the world,
Japan.
but there's
Somewhere,
gays
somewhere.
there being like, "Dua Lipa does have the best
Best
taste,"
taste.
and she always has, and she always has. We do
know
think
what I
that.
mean?
Can I? So you said Illusion came first, and I think Illusion might be my favorite on the whole album outside of These Walls. Is there a moment when you're writing Illusion where you're like, now I'm fucking excited, and is it the pre-chorus?
Oh.
Like, to me, I was like, when that came into the song, I was like,
Here we go.
this is it. Like, and I'm wondering if, because you say that was first,
Yeah.
like, what was
we
it
got
about
really,
that?
Yeah, we got really excited about it. It just, I know it was different. I also love the dance break. I think
Yes.
that was also
Yeah.
Bring
just
back
like
the dance break.
all the
Only you
crazy
can.
instrumentation, and it's again thinking about like the live performance. It's like,
Yes.
how can we? What is this going to sound like when people come to see it live? What is what is the different things that we can bring, and how can I dance to this, and how can we make this fun and exciting and joyous, and yeah, that was like the first song that
Yeah.
just really gripped me, and I was like,
I'm not synesthetic, but I feel it when I listen to the album. Does that
Oh,
make
really?
sense? Like, I feel like there's a lot.
what do you see?
For Illusion, I see like neon blue. Like, does
Uh-huh.
that make sense? Is that because the
Uh-huh.
album
Yeah.
is at a pool? I mean, the video's at a pool. But like, I don't know. I just feel like it's like, but there's also yellow.
There's yellow.
I don't know. It's, you know what I'm
It's
saying?
coming. It's coming to you.
It's the
Kind of.
denim. It's
It's
the
the
denim.
denim.
We're channeling.
It's what I'm wearing. It's because I looked at myself in the mirror today
And you're
it's
like,
blonde
it's
in
Illusion.
denim. Illusion is blonde in
Illusion.
denim. I was actually wondering today, I was like, are people going to think, like, oh, they booked Dua for the podcast and Matt went bleach blonde?
That's what broke you.
Radical optimism.
The
I
bleach
think that's what
blonde
it
is
was.
so good.
Do you
So
feel that
yeah,
way?
I love it.
Thank you so much.
I love it.
You have this
Taste.
taste.
She wouldn't lie. She might.
No, I love it.
Okay, good. Thank you.
I love it. I probably just wouldn't say.
Yeah, you probably would. You know, the girls at my coffee place in LA, I can tell don't like it because they didn't say anything. But that was before I toned.
That was before you toned.
Like, it was a little brassy.
yeah.
And so I walked in and I was like, hey. It's like whenever you see someone with like a new hair or a new look and you're like, hi. And they're like, hey, so how's your day going? And I'm like, oh, God, not how's your day
How's
going.
your day
They really skipped over the headline.
The headline of
That nasty
Wow.
headline of, wow, you're blonde now. You really did it.
Well, I love it.
Thank you. My therapist does too. I logged on and it was like that moment of like, I had to laugh because I was like, I'm logging on Zoom and she's going to see me blonde. And then the therapist is, going to have to like, okay,
It was like,
my 34-year-old
So
gay
tell
male
me
client
what
is blonde. So go ahead.
yeah.
But I'm fine. I'm great.
what's one reaction that stands out to you of you showing someone your new hair.
Yeah.
Like this color, which is stunning, by the way.
Thank you.
Someone was like, "Oh, hey."
It's nice. I actually don't know.
People would be too scared.
Do you
know what I
think I'm
mean?
scary?
No, but
No.
people wouldn't want to like sow doubt in your
Just
mind.
be like, oh no, yeah, no. I think it was more. Initially, I had it a little bit bleached to get it to the red because my hair was really black.
Right.
And I think it was really my hairstylist, Peter, who just took one look at it and he was like, it's in good condition. We gotta do a little bit of work here. And he was just like speed dialing, calling people, being like, her hair's gonna fall out any moment if we don't do something about this. And I think it's like the fear in his eyes that I saw that I was like, oh, I'm in trouble.
No. After the first round of bleach or just the color?
It was just like the first round of bleach and the hair just wasn't in good shape. It was more just like, I got lucky because like the front bits were holding out all right. Like they didn't have a lot of bleach on them for a very long time, so they were fine. And it was just almost like at the back, there was just like little clumps of hair. Clumps is such a traumatic word.
Bring it back, I say.
Back.
Clumps.
Bring back the dance break and clumps. Only you can.
Don't bring back the clumps. No one wants the clumps.
Next album?
We want healthy hair.
Healthy hair.
And
there's so much going on with hair that you don't realize. Like
that-
even my friend did this, and Greta, and she was like, "We might have to double process." And I'm like, "What is double process?" I was like, "And was the first process bad?" Like, but there's so much. It's so much more complicated than you think than just like, I'm going to change my hair.
There's so much technicality with it, and you have to be so careful.
Right. Peter knows what he's doing.
But it's good now. Yeah.
That's great.
It's good now. But the first glimpse I caught, I was like, oh no.
Yeah. You're like, who's that person? Too?
Yeah.
You're like, now I feel like, yeah, you don't recognize yourself. And then
Just waiting, because my experience being blonde, that was traumatic.
Was it?
Really?
Oh, yeah. Like, it was fun for a little bit, but when I went, like, Draco Malfoy level, like, I wanted to be, like, peroxide blonde. It just, every shower,
Oh, yeah.
it just...
Clumps. The clumps.
Drama.
clumps.
It was the
The
clumps.
clumps. Then I had, like, an involuntary, like... What's it? Mullet.
No, not an involuntary mullet.
Involuntary mullet. That's when you know things are not going well.
All mullets
And-
should be voluntary.
And or just not at all.
Or not
Right.
at all.
And the mullet thing doesn't take
mullet.
off for me in my
no,
mind.
not for me either. But I had one.
Wow.
So it was there. And I'd wake up in the morning and I'm like, right, let's try and
Yeah.
zhuzh it up.
For electricity, like that era?
No, electricity was a wig.
Oh, great.
So it was for Don't Start Now.
For John Stewart. Oh, but the Roots were coming in chic.
Chic.
I think so.
I think they were.
Like
Yeah.
the bleach blonde is like
No, it worked for a little bit, but there had to be a lot of magic behind the scenes that was happening there. That's why I couldn't keep it for long enough, because it
Right.
was just
so
clumps.
We just said the words "Don't Start Now," and do you know what song never got the respect it should have gotten? Even though it was a single and did well, it should have. This should be the national anthem internationally. Physical.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think?
It is my favorite song.
I still, being in the industry, I still haven't quite figured out how, like,
Which one is gonna like
how
absolutely
things like
crush?
work
Yeah.
or whatever. Like, I just
Uh-huh.
put them out, and it's good because on tour it just like it kicked off. So
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
This is the
Great.
one.
like
yeah.
this is the one.
Yeah.
I guess I just never really think of things in terms of like chart stuff, because
Yeah.
but I get it. Physicals are
It is a
a banger.
banger.
It's a banger.
It
It's
is
a fun
so
one.
good. You know, when we were guest judges on Drag Race, the lip sync song was "Hallucinate."
oh, that's fun.
And we
That's
were
fun
very
to
happy.
perform
It was
live. I love
so
that
good.
one.
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh
that
my
was
God.
a moment. We look
Mhm.
like, have you guest judged Drag Race before?
No, I haven't.
Oh God, they got to roll
I
out the
know.
red carpet. They do so many of your songs.
I know. I've seen a few of them.
There's been
I've
some
seen a few
iconic
of
ones too,
them.
like Ganja Estranja doing Physical.
Physical is incredible. You've
That
seen
was
the physical
I've seen
one.
the physical
Oh,
one.
that's
I've
one of the
seen
best.
physical.
Unreal.
Yeah, it's so good. I've also seen I saw The Sweetest Pie.
Oh, that was
Sweetest Pie.
great.
They did Break My
I
Heart.
saw Break My Heart. I think I've seen all of them.
Yeah.
And they're all pretty indelible. Like it's like they're really canonized in Drag Race, and I think it has to do with the song.
There's one that Simone did too.
Break My Heart.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Break My Heart.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's so fucking chic. It's so good. I don't know. I feel like there's a concentric circle around what you put out that like also makes other people like do something beautiful and tasteful and joyful. This is like.
I mean,
I got so shy talking to you the first time, and I still am, but like the first time I talked to you, because I was just like, we have to go like pitch our silly little sketch to DUA, and
because you're such a superstar. But, but the thing is, no, but I mean, you are, but like you also are so kind and cool that it's like, I understand what he's saying, because like you are like, this is like such a bizarre word, and it must be bizarre to be this, but like being like an idol, like a pop icon, like very few people are. And so you understand why a gay guy is like, I was nervous to meet you. You get it. You get why Bowen guys are shaking his booty. These gay guys, there's so many gay guys, I'm telling you, holding cocktails, talking about your taste, and they're nervous to meet you, but then they meet you and
it's chill, like we can hang out. And we're going to the bar together.
We're going.
That's the vibe.
Are you gonna go to the after party?
Yes.
You gotta.
Please.
1000%.
I don't think so, honey. Ryan Gosling did not show up to the after party. And that's okay. It's not a real. I don't think so, honey. But it's because he's like,
No,
he's Ryan
for
Gosling.
sure.
You gotta go. But
1000%.
But also sometimes like
I'm so excited.
There was one moment where I'm just gonna say we were there. It was the Lizzo episode, and there was the after party, and Lizzo showed up ready to party for the after party, and no one was giving the party. And I was like, "You guys, Lizzo just showed up and is ready to turn up."
Ready to turn
and
up.
literally about
But
20
what
minutes
is the
later,
vibe? Are we dancing? Are we hanging? Are we?
We need to push for dance.
yeah, push for dance.
Yeah, because normally it's like not a dancey situation,
Title
but
it up.
Okay.
push for dance. The only time it got so dancey was when, in recent memory, was when RuPaul hosted.
Okay.
And I
Oh, yeah,
feel like
RuPaul
you're on
brings
that
the
level
party.
where it's like, we gotta
We
bring the
just
party
gotta-
for DUA.
Okay. Okay.
We're gonna do
Let's
it.
dance.
Let's dance.
You have well, I guess like you both can kind of make this happen. Where should you pick and like, just tell Lauren like or whoever. Yeah, like Lauren books the after party.
Like Lauren calls.
Hey, I'm just wondering if Zero Bond is available on the 4th. We're actually gonna have DUA, so
And
That's
she's
my
gonna shoot
iconic
the
Lauren.
one.
We
I
should
wanna
do the
dance.
after party somewhere fun and dancey.
Yeah.
We'll
Get
do it.
sweaty.
Ooh.
Have you been to Basement yet? Oh my God! Wait,
No.
you would be mobbed at Basement.
I haven't been to basement.
It's like a
yet.
Berghain inspired like club, and
Do you put on a wig and go incognito?
No, I have not done so, but maybe I should.
Do you feel like you need to? Like, could you walk
No,
down the street?
I don't. I know. I just do that. I just
Yeah.
walk.
You just go.
I just go.
You just
Yeah, I just go.
you know, you wouldn't be
Me,
mobbed.
a gay guy. Can you go nowhere? You can't even go into McDonald's, can you? It probably is a scene.
The way gay men talk to you must be insane. Like right now.
No, we're not insane. We're being normal.
No, but it's like Dua goes to Basement. She's not gonna be bothered at all because it's gonna be all of these gay men in like shaking in the corner, being like, we can't go talk to her.
But you can.
We can.
Are people getting sweaty at basement?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Is it
yes.
like an every night thing, weekend thing? What's the
Mostly
vibe?
weekends.
Okay.
If people love to come out as the sun rises. It's that kind of thing.
Love it.
I think it's your vibe.
There's no like time curfew?
Really?
Because that's like a really American thing where things close
It's
at like
curfew.
3 or something.
It's
that-
it's 3 here. It's like 1 everywhere else in a very shocking and traumatizing way. It's like you're sending me home now.
Even in
No,
LA.
yeah,
At
it's just
12:55?
started.
I'm like, this is crazy. Like I'm acting like I have all this energy, like to be out till 4 every night. But like sometimes it does feel weird. Like in
does
LA, everything's down
I
at 1.
know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
People gotta do like the London model where it's like go to Dalston Superstore and stay there.
fucking love
until,
London.
I fucking love
Yeah.
London.
It
Or
really
they've
is
got
the
to do the
best.
Spanish thing where people like go out for dinner at like
Yeah.
10 p.m.
11:30,
and then
yeah,
you go
like-
to the club at like 2 and then you leave crawling at like 5
Yeah.
out of there. Perfect.
Great.
That's what I gotta do.
The Spanish. They know what they're
Spanish.
doing.
No, in a lot of ways, the Spanish know.
Okay.
We've talked.
Okay.
We've
Let me
talked on
tell
this
you
podcast about Spanish people, and not to generalize, but it's like
That they fuck?
I've talked about the Madrid airport at length.
Oh, Bowen. Yeah, sure. Are you public about this?
I'm public.
He had a
with this.
grinder hookup at the Madrid airport.
It
Oh.
was just like layover.
Love that. Oh.
Mallorca to Madrid.
Taste.
Mallorca to Madrid, back to London. The walk from gate to gate was like 20 minutes, right? And the Madrid airport has a chic thing where it's like, to this terminal, it's going to be like a 15-minute walk. Get ready. And so you walk, and every guy I passed was like eyeing me, and I was like, wait a minute. And then every guy would get progressively hotter and hotter. And I'd be like, what is going on here? And then finally it was like, okay, let me just open up my apps. And then like 10 minutes later,
They're like,
You were blowing up.
it was
You even did the sound.
It was
right.
magic.
Do you have a Grindr account? That would be iconic. If you were just on Grindr,
just on there.
like
Yeah.
training season's over, like crush. By the way,
You were.
berries. You do have like a thing with berries.
Yeah, we did a training season thing.
I did do a class.
How was it?
Really good. Shout out to Matt Conrad in LA and Hollywood. It
So
was an
fun.
all DUA class.
oh my God.
So
Give it to
fun.
me.
It was good. And then there was a shake named
There was
after
a shake,
training
yeah,
season.
Yeah.
And I had it, and it was good.
I
It was
just
great.
guest taught a berries class.
Oh,
and
how did it go?
I was like, oh, I have all these bits planned. Didn't do a single one of them because Lindsay Clayton, who is a star trainer at Barry's Chelsea, was like, okay, everybody, like, get on the floor. And like, I did like one shoulder tap. I was like, my brain melted. I couldn't say a single
It's
sentence.
hard.
It's
Those
so
those
hard.
berries. Do you take berries?
Yeah, I've done berries. Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's so intense.
Because they have it in London.
I don't love running. Like I much prefer like double floor
Double
or something. But
floor.
Do as double
know.
floor, everybody.
do as double floor,
Keep it-
double
yeah.
duty, double floor.
Yeah.
Double duty. You
I
see her
only like
on
things like that.
F29.
I'm F10 or whatever. No, I'm in the 20s.
Do you always pick the same one if you can? I'm always on T18. Or no, T12.
No, but that's a nice auspicious thing.
It's an auspicious thing for me. Anyway, if there's a DUA class at Barry's, take it.
Take it.
You're going to sweat. It's going to be fabulous.
You won't regret it. Shall we
Um,
move on? I don't think so.
I think it might be time for I Don't Think So, Honey. So this is the segment where we kind of go off for a minute, if you will, on something in pop culture that's bugging us. And
Mhm.
I have something topical,
All right. This
top of
is
my head and topical.
Matt Rogers, I don't think so, honey. His time starts now.
I don't think so, honey, just because someone is blonde that they're in crisis. Okay? I really appreciate your concern. I promise you this is a reflection of my happiness and my, say it with me, radical optimism. If I was in crisis, I would not roll the dice on my head. I get that some people do this. That's not how I am. This is an expression of the color of my spirit, blonde. I also feel that I've been spiritually moving in this direction for years. Will it remain this way? No. For the summer? Yeah. When I'm at
30
Glastonbury,
seconds.
I'm going to be looking like this. Come up and talk to me. The vibes are going to be high because I'm going to be seeing Dua Lipa. I don't have a ticket yet, but I'm getting one. I'm talking myself into going, and yeah, I'll be blonde, and it won't be because I'm upset. It'll be because I'm thrilled. So please join me.
15 seconds.
Everyone dye your hair blonde. What you do is you go and you get the bleach. You put it all over your head. Your friend can do this. And then you
5
put a little bit of
seconds.
toner on. Make sure you get that purple shampoo. If you have to double process,
Purple
do
shampoo,
it.
very important.
Purple shampoo is major. Used it today. Am I overusing it? Maybe. But we'll find out soon if my hair is lavender. But for now, it's blonde, and I'm happy about it.
That's 1 minute.
There we go.
And it's the colors of illusion.
I feel like I held my breath through all of that. I'm like, I feel like I've gone the color of purple shampoo.
Listen,
If you
was good.
overcorrect, it's actually fine because purple also, that silvery kind of blonde looks kind of chic,
it could be kind of good.
you know?
But then you were saying in the elevator that a little bit of brass is in. I was like, okay.
I think a little bit of brass is in.
you
I
did
like-
blonde.
Yeah. Coppery,
Yeah.
grassy.
But
It's
what I'm
nice.
saying is, my therapist didn't think this either when I logged on. She was like, "Oh, I didn't necessarily think something was wrong." But I also think it's like an easy way to pick on someone, like, "Oh, he's blonde."
Right. I was reading through the comments. I should not have done this on that post where you
Oh
premiered.
my god,
the
you
blonde.
absolute stalker.
Well, I was just like, what are people saying? Because I was seeing some nonsense, and I was like, y'all, he's fine.
My dad dragged me. He was like, "Well, I bet there'll be an Instagram live to debut this," and I was like, "Dad, no, I didn't do this for everyone else. I did this for me."
me.
Seconds later, me. Like, but he really got me there.
got you.
I bet there'll be an Instagram live.
Uh-oh.
Anyways, he knows me. Are you ready to do your I Don't Think So,
I
honey?
think so. It's a little bit pedestrian, but I'm gonna do it.
I don't think that's for you to say. I think that's for the critics out there to say. This is Bowen Yang's I Don't Think So, Honey. His time, in fact, starts now.
I don't think so, honey. The crisping drawer? What are you doing? The crisping drawer in the fridge. It's not doing the work. Are you familiar with this?
The crisping drawer?
The crisping drawer. What do you call it in the
Drawer in your
UK?
refrigerator where you put like
Where you put
lettuce.
produce,
Vegetables.
vegetables,
Okay.
fruits. Doesn't do anything. Could
Right.
be a box with a poor handle for all I
Go
care.
off.
I come home after 3 days away from my apartment. The grapes
30
shriveled.
seconds. Oh.
The spring onion moldy. The ginger absolutely fungally destroyed. I don't know what I have to do to keep my produce fresh. I'm looking up all of these solutions online. It's to
15 seconds.
fill a jar with water and cut up your cucumber and then put it. No. I'm not doing any of that. I'm keeping the vegetables whole
5
like
seconds.
Mother Nature intended. And if you're not going to do anything from your refrigerator, I am just going to salt everything.
That's 1 minute. It's really the world against you, isn't
It's
it?
the world against me.
The crisping drawer can't get it right.
I was like, what even is that?
I had to take a second too, but that is what it's called, huh?
It's the crisping drawer. Is it something else in Europe?
Crisping. I don't know. I thought it's just a drawer in your fridge.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
But
to put
maybe
to
I'm
things-
using it
now
wrong.
to have a name for it, to say that it
Crisping
sucks.
drawer.
I might be crazy. I
No,
might
I
have
don't-
named it something that no one else calls it.
My issue with the crisping
People-
drawer
It's
is
crisping.
okay, great.
It's
We have the authority
crisper.
back there. Becca, it's called the crisping drawer. She's
is
not.
called the
She's actually
crisping
looking it up.
No,
Are you literally looking it up?
No, because I broke my crisping drawer in my fridge in my last apartment.
It's incredibly
And it
easy to
burned me
break.
Up the ass when I.
It wasn't doing anything to
Yeah.
begin
It
with.
wasn't doing anything. That's why I took it out. So, because it got moldy and things were wet.
Yes.
And that's my concern
So-
is that the crisping drawer is where I put everything where I'm like, well, I guess I'm healthy now, healthy girl.
In
And
there.
then you put it in there and,
And
it's
it
like,
just all shrivels.
you never
just-
touch it.
No,
just
I
goes.
get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. No, I understand.
Now
I
I'm
understand.
making
I
sense.
get.
And now
I
here's-
get the drama.
Here's the part where you pop off. Are you ready to do your I Don't Think So, Honey? Because you came in and you definitely had one.
Yeah, I had one, and now I'm like.
I think you stick
No,
with
do
it.
it.
Stick with it. What do you
It's- we were really talking about it. It's like.
Okay, this is
Well,
Dua
do
Lipa's
it
I Don't
anyway.
Think So,
It's
Honey.
just,
Her time starts now.
I don't think so, honey. I think you can work hard and play hard.
Yeah!
You cannot be. You know, I feel like no matter what, people are still gonna call you the vacanza queen.
The Vacanza Queen!
And people think that I'm always on holiday. I'm not always on holiday. I'm actually always fucking working.
Yeah.
But I make sure that I do the work. I get it done. I
Mm-hmm.
I make sure that why
30
am
seconds.
I not?
You make lists, for God's
I make
sake.
lists. I also never do the same job twice.
Right.
I make sure that I do it well, and I do it well the first time.
Yes.
And so I never have to do it again. So then I have more free time to hang out, and
Yes.
chill, and do nothing but have fun when I'm not working.
15
so
seconds.
that's it. And I'm working and I'm having fun
Yes.
right now.
Yeah.
So you can work and you can play.
You
and
can do
you can
both.
do anything you want. You can do
5
whatever
seconds.
you want. That's it.
Yes! First of all, when Dua Lipa goes on vacation, that is a tax write-off. That's going into the work.
That's going into the work.
I
That's
need
going
to
into the
chill
work.
so I can then come back refreshed
Yes.
and looking cute so I can do more work.
You don't have illusion if Dua doesn't go on vacation. Period.
Do you want that world?
So shut up.
Shut up, Pop Crave.
And she might do Coachella, but stop. Glastonbury first, and stop. You're being too much. You're pushing.
If she's the Vacanza queen, then we are the Vacanza jesters in
we
the
are,
court.
we are. I just booked with Vacanza to go to Coachella. Okay,
A vacanza
And
to go.
It was a Vacanza.
A vacanza to go.
I have so many emails from Vacanza asking me to review. I don't have the greatest review of the place I stayed in Coachella. It was really hard to
Oh.
get in the gated. It was like a gated community
No,
Airbnb.
no.
And let me say something about the gate. There has to be
A button.
a button because human error can happen. There's someone there 24 hours. There wasn't.
Doesn't ever is.
No.
Cut to me at 3 a.m. after Neon Carnival. Can't get into my damn home
Oh no.
after DJ James Kennedy's big set.
Oh,
Do you watch Vanderpump Rules? Do
No, I don't.
you watch any reality TV?
No, I don't.
You're just
I
so
should though,
tasteful.
because I just feel really left out because everyone's like Vanderpump Rules or like something else.
I feel left out because everyone's
Everyone's
like,
like,
Vanderpump Rules.
you are queen of taste. You don't have to touch it. Don't
What
change
shows
anything
do
about
you
yourself.
watch? Or are you just always
She's reading pachinko. She's not watching television.
But you know what I just watched is Baby Reindeer.
Oh,
Wait, oh my
I need to
God,
watch this.
Taste. Everyone is talking about this.
I've got
Taste.
one more episode left.
Yes, I heard it pops off.
I hear it's great.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
This is going to be the show of the year.
All right. Love it. Baby Reindeer. I'm
Insane.
watching.
I always look to him as like my chic, like tastemaker friend because he always finds things first. Have you ever watched Perfect Blue?
No.
Tell her about
What's
it.
You should watch
Perfect
Perfect Blue. It's
What is
about
it, a series or?
Satoshi Kon. Did you ever watch Paprika, that anime film, or Tokyo Godfathers, or Millennium
No.
Actress? Okay, so she is like, was at the time a contemporary of like a Miyazaki, kind of. People were kind of
Okay.
putting them in the same camp. But it's this, his first movie is about this pop star who transitions out of a pop girl group in 1990. This movie comes out in 1997, but then she transitions into acting, and then her stalker gets mad, and then she finds this like blog that's written in her voice, but it's not her who's writing it, but for some reason it knows all these details about her.
Oh.
There's all these twists, like her manager is a little bit suspicious, and then it's about how like the internet is distorting her reality, and like she's believing what the internet version of herself is like being fed to her. It's like
It's really fascinating.
like for,
Wow.
it's about all these things, but like I watch it as a reminder that like, you know, whatever is going on in here is like
Not real.
not
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or is actually
A
lethal.
perfect or the perfect blue?
Perfect Blue.
Perfect,
Perfect
blue.
And it's a title of a pulpy novel, Japanese novel that like was adapted. The director Satoshi Kon was like, I don't know why it's called that, but I'll make it.
yeah, I didn't know why it was called that either.
I don't
was
think
like,
anyone knows why it's called
It's
that.
it's very dark and scary, but like at the end, again, there is radical optimism at the end, I believe.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like there is a moment at the end
There is
where you
radical
understand
optimism,
that there's been like some growth and a change. And just like while we're talking about that, I wonder, like, because he picks up the phone and you're like, it's not real. Was there a moment that there was like a transition for you and like I'm engaging with people and like what they think and like to now, or do you find yourself like still engaging?
I think it's a bit of a push and pull. I took myself off Twitter just as I was writing Future Nostalgia,
Mm.
but it was like people were so mean all the time,
Mhm.
and I started thinking that everyone thought that of me.
Yeah, that it was real.
That it was real.
Right.
Until like I would go out and I'd be in the park and someone would just come up and be like, "Hey, I love your song," or
Yeah.
"This made me feel really good," or whatever. And I was like, "Oh wait, maybe like the public perception isn't the way that I think it is." Like I would get really like nervous because I would think that maybe people were having all these like weird thoughts about me, or like I would be almost like in a way self-obsessed in a weird
Yeah.
thing,
Mhm, mhm.
and it wouldn't allow me to connect with people because I'd be like, "Oh, they probably hate me," or "They probably
Yes,
think this
and
about
probably
me."
very distracting
And I'm like,
creatively.
I don't want to
too.
have that at all. So
No.
I got rid of Twitter, and then I was able to write an album that felt really freeing and good and whatever, because I was like, it's not real. It's completely separate. People spend a lot of time online to try and
Yeah.
bring you down or make you feel bad about yourself or make
Mhm.
themselves feel better or whatever it is. It's like an outlet. And instead of being like, you shouldn't say what you think or trying to retaliate in that way, it's like, I'm just going to remove myself.
Yeah.
And then I don't hear it, I don't see it, and I can just get on with things in a different way and have normal
Yeah.
experiences, I
and
guess.
do what
in
you
a way.
do
Yeah.
instead of
Without
ag-
having to let that,
yeah.
sit on my head kind of thing.
Because this
Totally.
movie is great because it's like she engages with this bizarre, distorted reality, and then literally in the film that physicalizes for her.
Yeah,
Like that
yeah, yeah.
character becomes like real to her, and it's like very surreal. It's almost like Black Swan, where it's like there's like another version of her that's
That's
antagonizing
coming.
her,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
and it's
yeah, yeah.
really
like the
interesting.
created, fantasized version of her.
I have to see this.
Yeah.
And this came out like pre Y2K too, like so pretty ahead of its time in terms of like.
Yeah. 97.
Especially talking about the internet, like the computer that she uses in the film is like a 90s computer,
Uh-huh.
like so way before there was like virality on the internet or
yeah.
like anything like that. Like
Or
this was
Twitter.
like right on the pulse.
But for you to talk about Twitter in a way that like everybody talks about it, which is everyone's mean.
Yeah.
Like literally
it's-
everyone has
Everyone's
that
mean.
experience, and that says it all. Favorite place to vacation? Such a hard left.
Favorite place to vacation.
If you said Epcot right now, it would rock. It would rock.
What is that? Is that what Disney?
Disney World.
I love it.
What is that?
What is that?
Disney World. No, you're so chic to a taste.
You know what? Period.
No, I think like
You can go to
south of Albania.
Yeah,
Is
totally.
Okay.
really, or Ibiza. I love Ibiza.
We've never been to Ibiza.
Ibiza's really fun. But when I say Ibiza, people immediately think of like the one strip with all the clubs
Right.
where it's like absolute carnage.
Uh-huh.
But you can do really like peaceful, quiet. There's amazing restaurants in Ibiza. It's really chill, beautiful little beaches, little coves. Like it's amazing. And then you can like dip out once a week and go to DC10 and just rave.
Ah!
So you just need like, it's about balance. But I love Ibiza because you get best of both worlds.
Damn, that's cool. I love it.
I like literally like this has been so fun and such a joy. I'm like so galvanized to go to Glastonbury now because I've never been, and if I'm gonna go, I should be like
yeah,
there.
come. It will be absolutely mad.
Who are the other headliners?
It's so
Coldplay,
fun. Coldplay's
SZA.
on Saturday.
SZA?
SZA's on Sunday. Shania Twain is doing the legend slot.
the fuck?
Yeah.
We have
No, it has to happen.
I mean, that's nuts.
Last
Twain.
last
is in the
weekend of
Legend
last weekend of
spot?
June.
Yeah, it's gonna be totally.
I feel like
mad.
are you a Shania girly?
I love Shania.
Shania, come on over.
I actually met
birthed
her
us
after
all.
the Grammys at an after party, and she came to say hi, and I was like,
Oh, Shania!
oh my god!
Wow.
So I'm very excited. Yeah.
That's a fucking stacked lineup. But like you, I think, are holding a very, very beautiful position on that poster for me because it's like I think you're first. You're first.
First, the Friday night. Because then that means we can just rally.
Yeah. And also, it's like, I feel like the Friday night spot is really important because it does set a tone. Like,
It
Lana
kickstarts
just
the
kicked
rest.
ass, like, at
Yeah.
Coachella. Like, it was so sick. And then Billy came out, and that was, like, a moment forever. And it did, like, set the whole
Sets
weekend
the
on
tone,
fire
yeah.
afterwards. It was just
Mm.
like, well, we're all living the best
Amazing.
experience. Cannot wait. And the album is coming out in 2 days from when this is
When
out.
this comes out.
And you're doing SNL. That's going to be incredible. Just like
Right.
all the most exciting things.
Thank you so much for having
for
me. This has been
coming,
so much fun.
I'm having.
See, you can work and you can play and
You
you
can
have
work and
fun,
you can play.
do it all.
And there you go. And Dua's actually writing this episode off on her taxes because, yeah.
It's vacation. We end every episode with a song.
Take
But
it.
if these walls could talk.
We're not necessarily off book yet because we just got it.
Yeah,
but it is the vibe.
It's pretty good.
Bye.